Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining NTTV News at Noon. I'm Faith Webster.
And I'm Varun Engineer.
And I'm Luke Nelson here with breaking news. This morning, defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys, Marshawn Kneeland, died at the age of 24. At 10:33 p.m. on Wednesday night, public safety tried stopping a vehicle for a traffic violation. Kneeland reportedly fled the scene on foot, and a perimeter was then set up by police with drones and canines. Kneeland was later found with a self-inflicted gunshot. The Cowboys issued an official statement at 8:35 a.m., with the Cowboys talking about his passing, sending their thoughts and prayers to his family. He scored his first career touchdown against the Cardinals this Monday. Kneeland was also only with the Cowboys for about 2 years.
UNT held its State of University yesterday and laid out its 5-year plan. We've got the details.
The University of Texas system is pushing to continue protest bans despite the temporarily hold.
And we'll give you a full update on what's happened during elections around the country.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV News at Noon.
Yesterday, UNT's new president, Harrison Keller, gave his first State of the University address on campus and on live stream. Keller went in depth about his 5-year plan for the university. One of his first points mentioned doctoral students receiving health care benefits.
As a first step, today I am announcing that we will fund health insurance for all doctoral students on fellowship, and we won't wait to do this. We're going to start immediately by providing funding for the current semester and going forward.
A new school within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences was announced with focuses on practical application and job placements.
We're developing an entirely new school within the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences that's focused on the practical application of the liberal arts, which aligns with the skills that are in highest demand by employers.
Lastly, he addressed a new campaign created to generate $100 million to support struggling students and faculty.
I'm announcing a $100 million campaign to accelerate our vision for student success. Our Better Look North campaign will enable us to remove financial barriers to student success with scholarships and targeted efforts to make sure no student goes off track because of minor emergencies or basic needs related to housing or food insecurity.
To find out more, watch the full address. The live stream has been posted on the university's YouTube.
Nancy Pelosi has announced her retirement from Congress after nearly 40 years in Washington. Nancy Pelosi was the first and only female speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. CNN's Dana Bash has the story.
Pelosi era here in Washington is over. We have the breaking news that Nancy Pelosi says she will not run for re-election. She's going to retire at the end of her term. It's hard to imagine a House of Representatives without Nancy Pelosi serving. She's been there for almost 40 years representing her San Francisco area district, and she has been a leader in the Democratic Party. Of course, the pinnacle of that was becoming the first female House Speaker.
We have broken the marble ceiling.
And then she returned to that job when Donald Trump was in his first term. Pelosi hasn't been the Speaker for a couple of years, but let's be clear. We know that she is still very, very powerful. She doesn't hold the gavel, but she wields a lot of power and influence. When she wants to go out, when she wants to make a statement, people listen because she has really defined House Democrats for more than a generation. She has led House Democrats. She has understood how to corral House Democrats for a very, very long time.
There are two things about what I bring with me from my family in this regard. One is to know how to count. That's very important. Count your votes to win the election, count your votes to win a vote on the floor. But the other is listen to the constituents.
For someone like me who has watched the House of Representatives, covered the House of Representatives, walked those halls, she's a singular figure. There's really nobody like her, and there won't be again.
You know why I do it, Dan? I do it because I want women to see that you do not get pushed around, that you don't run away from the fight.
Pelosi came to Washington, came to Congress when there weren't a lot of women serving. I mean, we're talking about 1987. And she did it after she had already raised her 5 children. And at that time, that was a big deal for a woman to come at all. And now she marvels about the fact that there are so many more women in Congress. I mean, 10, 20-fold the number of women, and so many young women, so many women who have young families, women who give birth in office. And people like Nancy Pelosi, I think if you're a Republican or a Democrat, they will say that they owe it to Pelosi and the fortitude that she had and other women in her generation, that they are able to do what they do right now.
This October marked the worst month for layoffs in 22 years. The number of U.S. layoffs announced in October rocketed upward for the first time in years. Job cuts for the month totaled 153,074, a 183% surge from last September and 175% higher than the same month a year ago. It was the highest level for any October since 2003. It also is the biggest jump in that month in more than 2 decades.
What did you think of the weather this morning?
No clue, I just drove here.
Well, maybe you could learn something from Hannah Perez. Hannah?
It hasn't been so bad, honestly. As of right now, we're sitting at a cool 75 degrees here in Denton, and we have a nice 13-mile-per-hour wind that's going to be keeping us steady throughout the rest of today. By later tonight, we're going to be sitting at a cool 71. So honestly, fall might actually be here in Texas. As for tomorrow, we're going to be sitting here at 81. So maybe a light jacket, maybe you can get away with some shorts. Might just depend on your body temperature. We'll have more for you after the break. Back to you, Faith.
The University of Texas system, which includes their Dallas, Arlington, San Antonio, and Austin branches, is pushing to enforce a protest ban previously blocked by district judge. Judge David Ezra of Columbus, Ohio, says that the university's banning overnight expression and limits on sound is violating students' First Amendment rights. The UT system filed a notice in preparation for appealing the ruling on Tuesday. The bill was written by Brandon Creighton, the new Texas Tech University system chancellor. Creighton is confident the law will, quote, ultimately be upheld. Creighton's bill went into law on September 1st.
Up next, what you should know if you're looking to fly.
And what Texas high school marching bands did to help their opponent. Stay with us.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounced checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
The Federal Aviation Administration is getting ready to cancel thousands of flights with little to no notice. Amy Kiley reports on why this is happening and how it can affect everyday travelers.
The impact here will be huge for the American traveler.
The FAA says it will cut about 10% of flights at 40 major airports starting tomorrow. That's unless the government reopens. The reason? air traffic controller shortages. FAA facilities report more than 400 of them since the shutdown began.
They're not calling in sick, they're calling in saying, I don't have childcare today. What do you want me to do?
A controller union leader says the need to address the strain on the system is urgent. The FAA agrees.
And we're not going to wait for a safety problem to truly manifest itself when the early indicators are telling us we can take action today to prevent, things from deteriorating.
An airline source says companies got about an hour's notice about the plan. Now they're scrambling to adjust their flights. United says it aims to keep hub-to-hub schedules normal, but the CEO of Frontier Airlines warns some passengers could get stranded. He suggests people flying Frontier within 10 days book backup tickets. Across airlines, passengers leaving tomorrow might not get much warning if they're affected. That's because the FAA initially declined to name the impacted airports.
What the FAA is talking about here is equivalent to canceling about 4,500 flights a day. By my math, that's about 30% worse than the worst day for flight cancellations in the last year.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
As the government shutdown continues, 40 major airports around the country, including DFW and Love Field airports, will see air traffic reduced by 10%. Starting this Friday, the reduction is expected to affect up to 4,000 flights per day. With travel season coming up, the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, are advising those who are traveling to arrive at least 2 hours early to the airport. Keep checking your airline apps for the latest information and your direct flight status. The shutdown still has no end in sight, but Southwest Airlines in Dallas say they continue to urge Congress to immediately resolve the impasse and restore the national airspace system to its full capacity.
The casualties following the devastating UPS plane crash in Kentucky is holding at 12 as of this morning. But numbers could rise as authorities try to find the plane's black boxes. CNN's Lee Waldman has the story.
It's the first full day for the NTSB investigators looking into that deadly crash involving a UPS cargo plane here. They've already unveiled the engine on the left side of that plane completely detached. This, as we're hearing, there are 12 deaths related to this crash, with more expected. The debris field is a half-mile long, a line of scorched earth now running through local businesses that stood near Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
The impact and intensity of the wreckage, of the charred wreckage, is unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Graphic video shows the moment the MD-11 transport aircraft operated by UPS erupted into flames shortly after takeoff around the airport, leaving multiple people dead, likely including the 3 crew members who were on the flight, according to the mayor. Videos from the scene show flames in an auto recycling yard and semi-truck lot in an industrial area nearby.
And right when she was FaceTiming me, a massive explosion occurred, and she said to me, the scrap office blew up. And it was like hell's fury. I mean, it was indescribable, people screaming, people running, people trying to help each other.
Investigators for the National Transportation Safety Board said the plane's black boxes have been recovered and will be taken back to Washington, D.C.
We feel comfortable once we get these to our lab in D.C. that we will be able to get a good readout of the applicable data, and that will be yet another point of information that will really help us understand what happened during this point of flight.
In addition to those black boxes, they're going to analyze any surveillance video, hoping that can piece together this puzzle. Last night, we saw them hauling away what appeared to be part of the engine that came off of that plane. In Louisville, I'm Lee Waldman.
A high school band faced a devastating loss on their way to the state championships. Jamal Kennedy has the full story. Jamal?
Yesterday was the hardest day I've had as a band parent and volunteer.
A scary video taken by Vandergrift High School parent Adam Plummer shows the seconds before a train in San Antonio crashes into a Vandergrift High School marching band trailer. San Antonio police say no one was injured, but the incident left Plummer in despair.
Sort of the first thought that went through my head was that, 370 or 380 kids, their season was coming to an end.
Plummer says the underneath portion of the trailer got stuck on the tracks as the trailer was going across, and after failing to get the truck free, the the train came through just minutes later. The trailer was carrying instruments for the Vandergrift High School band to compete in the University Interscholastic League State Championships.
So many heroes stepped up.
What happened after the crash can only be described as a miracle. Plummer says most of the contents of the trailer were intact and they were able to rally to the Alamo Dome. And thanks to help from other competing high schools loaning some of their instruments, the Vandergrift band was able to compete.
As much as there's competitions, there's nothing competitive about it when it comes to these band programs. The moment anybody needs anything, people stand up and they help.
Leander ISD in a statement said it is truly humbling to see this community of high school musicians pull together to support one another. The Vandergrift band didn't just perform, the Vipers advanced to Tuesday's state final.
What can you say about the performance and the way that, the kids are handling everything?
It was a true testament to the kids to put it behind them and just focus on the here and now.
According to the band's Facebook page, they ended up winning the bronze medal.
Now, I know you didn't know about this morning, but how have you been feeling about the weather recently?
Well, if it could stay a little bit more consistent, I think I'd have an opinion.
Right. I mean, find out more with the weather and what happened in the Philippines with Hannah Perez. Hannah?
Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. declared a state of emergency this morning after Typhoon Kalmagi left at least 114 people dead and another 127 missing in central provinces this past Wednesday afternoon. Emergency declaration will allow the government to disperse funds faster and prevent food hoarding and overpricing. The typhoon's onslaught affected nearly 2 million people, displacing more than 560,000 villagers. Since then, Kalmagi has blew out of the archipelago and into the South China Sea. Now on to the full weather. Over in North Texas this morning, we're all enjoying a little bit of that November weather, seeing temperatures as low as 70 over in Paris and Sulphur Springs, and temperatures up into the higher 70s over with Denton over in 75. When we pull out across the state and look across the state, you'll see this trend kind of continues with Austin getting a little bit more of the heat over in the 80s. When we move on to the next 7 days, you'll see that things are a little bit more of what we're expecting or what we've been seeing recently. Although we will have a cold front later this weekend. On Sunday, we're going to be dropping down to 58, and that's going to carry on into Monday, but it'll pick back up Tuesday and then heading back into the high 70s on Thursday. That's all I have for you as of right now. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Election day was on this Tuesday, so let's take a look back at some of the key results of the state elections. Denton's Proposition A will fulfill a $15 million deficit in the school district, as well as supporting additional funds in the district and the state level. The ballot included 17 propositions, ranging from educational funding to voters protecting. All the propositions were passed in Virginia. Virginia elected their first female governor, Democrat candidate Abigail Spanberger. And finally, in New York, history was made, electing Zohran Mamdani, the first Muslim mayor of the Big Apple and the Democratic Socialist candidate in the race. Mamdani is also the second youngest New York City mayor in history. That's all I have for you now. Back to you, Faith.
It's just about lunchtime and I'm getting hungry. We'll talk all about food in Denton after the break. Stay with us.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and is hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
You know, SNAP benefits being taken away impact the community in so many different ways.
True, in Denton, the food banks are gearing up for the higher demand of services. Find out more with Riley Oldenburg. Riley.
She said she's not answering, so just keep reading.
Thanks, guys. Families are feeling the impact of the disruption of SNAP benefits, so the community is stepping up to help. On Tuesday, the Tarrant Area Food Bank hosted one of the monthly distribution events in Denton and served over 1,000 households due to the expected demand. They originally planned to serve 500. Jared Williams, the food bank's vice president of external relations, said that for every one meal provided by a food bank, SNAP is able to provide 9. The next event will be held on November 12th in the Lowry Woods parking lot off of Oakland Street. Student shopping will be from 10 to 11 a.m. and general public shopping will take place from 11 a.m. to noon.
The Freedom Food Drive will fight hunger across North Texas as SNAP cuts continue to hurt DFW residents. It will begin on Monday and run until December 8th. The drive is building a network of drop-off box locations across DFW. Anyone willing to help out can volunteer to help a drop-off box or make a donation to one of the available locations. If you want to donate or host a location, head to Dallas Protesters on Instagram for more information.
Gerardo Barbecue began in 2018 in Brandon Gerardo's backyard. He began cooking and taking pictures of the food, which led to an obsession of trying to perfect his smoked brisket. Gerardo and his wife began selling their food at pop-up events across DFW, leading to their first brick-and-mortar location in Arlington. In 2022, Gerardo Barbecue participated in Arlington Eats, a pilot program that gave several local restaurants the opportunity to sell their food at Globe Life Field. After its success in the program, Gerardo became the official barbecue restaurant of the Texas Rangers. They will be opening their 5th location in Argyle, where they live and send their children to school. They hope to donate even more to their time and food to Argyle ISD.
If you're looking for a Gouda time, this November 9th, Denton is hosting the annual Mac and Cheese Festival. This event will be hosted at Oak Street Draft House, Eastside, Miss Angeline's, and Dan Silverlee's. Guests are encouraged to go to all 4 locations to vote on the best mac and cheese in Denton. The event is also for the kids. All proceeds are going to go to buy school lunches for the kids in Denton. If you are interested, check the Facebook event page to find out more. Are you going to go watch the Stars game today?
I'm not really a big hockey fan, but is there anything else happening with sports?
Honestly, I don't know too much. I'm not that knowledgeable, but I know our sports anchor, Luke Nelson, is. What's happening, Luke?
An update on the Stars and Mavs, and a look at the tennis club, all that and more right after this break. The Dallas Stars have a game against the Anaheim Ducks at 7 p.m. Central Time, and the Stars have had a good season this year with 7 wins and 3 losses and 3 ties. They are 3rd in the Central Division. However, the Ducks are on 8 wins and in the 1st in the Pacific Division. It'll be interesting to see how the game will go, and it'll be interesting if the Stars can grab a victory. Last night, the Dallas Mavericks won against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Mavs lost 99-101, making their record now 2-6. Even with Cooper Flagg dropping 20 points and playing for 30 minutes, the Mavs are off to a really bad start, and fans can only hope they turn things around. Have you ever had an interest in playing tennis, but you don't know where to start? Luckily, the UNT Tennis Club gives you that chance I talked about and a chance to get into the tennis club here with an inside scoop.
UNT offers a lot of sports activities on campus, one of them being the UNT Tennis Club. The UNT Tennis Club is a really great way to meet players on beginner and also higher levels. President of the club, Elazar, has more info on this topic.
So the UNT Club tennis team has been established since 2013, and then the mission that we have is to unite people who enjoy the sport together, and then also for a social outlet. So they get that mix of like playing and then also the social factor. So this club's community is very active, and then for me, it is very easy to find people who are on my level. Last year was my first year in the club, and I was like very rusty, so I was like about intermediate, beginner-ish, so I was able to find people that played on my level. And then like this year, you know, with practice from last year and then this year, I was able to find people who are on my level.
The UNT Tennis Club also offers a lot of time for community and getting to know many members in their club, with more students in the club giving more insight on this.
I would say we do have dinner together very often. We hang out with each other outside of practices as well, just to create that synergy. And our president is very good at that whenever he has his like pop-ups and like just recruiting new members. He's very friendly and open.
Is fostering relationships and building a really strong community with my teammates. I think that's really important for any sport, and so when it comes to tennis, I think meeting new people and keeping those relationships is the most important aspect of tennis for me.
The UNT Tennis Club offers students not only a good chance to play tennis, but to involve themselves in other student activities as well. That's all I have for you today. This is Luke with NTTV News.
The tennis club offers a lot of fun opportunities and a great chance to make a lot of good friends and to make some unforgettable memories. That's all I have you. Back to you, desk.
Thanks for watching NTTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.